As you've likely noticed, a prevailing theme in our XERA video series has been the myriad of ways to streamline and achieve greater efficiency in your document review. Whether it's via iView's dynamic, graphical look at data, navigation rules to ensure proper coding parameters are being followed, or near-instant collaboration tools, all of these are geared towards helping you gain better insight into your data, resulting in quicker decisions and a quality-driven review. This brief vignette highlights another one of XERA's tools designed to bolster coding and review decisions: keyword reports. Now you'll notice I'm inside of my XERA dashboard here, and I'm going to find this new functionality inside of my Manage Reports tab here. For a number of users, you may not see this. It may have been left to the parameters of your project managers. But essentially, these little management tools allow me to do a few other things in the system. This is one of the reporting mechanisms. You can see here I already have a report that I've run. But to create one from scratch, it's a very simple walkthrough wizard. I simply give it a name here. I could fill in a description if I'd like, and I can also leave these reports as being personal. And then, much like all of our reporting and management functionality, it follows the same consistent feel to keep, again, a consistent feel throughout the tool. I choose the report type I want. In this case, I'm going to grab my keyword report and swipe on over. At this stage, I simply decide, what do I want to run a report on? Everything inside of my entire database, or maybe just a particular folder. Maybe it's of primary interest to know the documents sitting inside of a particular custodial folder that contains certain keywords. Or we're doing this at a much earlier stage. We want to see everything inside of our database. Take a look and see if maybe our keyword requests had been overly expansive. What's going to come back? Things of that nature. Swipe on over. And at this point, I can either manually enter in the words or phrases, because this also works with phrases as well if you're looking for how many occurrences that may have shown up. I can enter these in manually, or I can easily upload those from a text file, for example. I already happen to have one sitting here inside or on my desktop. There we go. So I'm going to simply upload that into the system. And we can see here a listing of all the terms that are part of my keyword report. I can also manually add to this or make adjustments if I would like to. Swipe on over. By default, we're going to look at all of the information we have on all of these documents or records inside of the database. So you'll see here, run this report against all of my fields. It's very easy to pick and choose ones that you may wish to remove. For example, maybe you only want to run this against full text fields. So swipe over. I can add some additional options. Do I want to see the current date, time, the source that it came from? Again, works great when you're talking about a particular custodial folder you may be running this against. Orientation, how do I want this to be displayed or printed out? It gives me a preview here of the structure of the report. So I take a look, I can see the title I put in place here, the source it came from, who authored it, date and time. The keywords will be listed in a column over here, the number of documents returned, and then the result weight on this. If I like that layout, I simply say, perfect. I'm going to swipe on over, and I have the option to save this and have it run down the road, or run this immediately, which I will do at this point in time. I simply click Finish. My report is being run. You'll see here towards the top, it's letting me know, oh, it's now been created. I can grab my report and I can download it. So now the report's been generated. As you see here, it's saved automatically. Gives me the option, do I want to open or save that? I'm going to open that up so we can see exactly how this looks. And as this opens up for me, we can see it follows the exact same model in the preview. Titles across the top, all the keywords, the documents returned that contained that word, and then, very important, the result weight over here in percentage points. Now this is important because it helps you know how many documents these terms show up in, well, how large a percentage of your entire database or source do those words or those documents make up. For example, I can see here that the keyword abnormalities shows up in 2% of my entire document population. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. However, I could see something like cartilage over here showing up in 31% of all documents. Maybe that's an overly expansive term in my system, so I can use that to argue either to condense or potentially expand the results that we come back in. So it's not just about the number of documents coming back, but how heavily weighted are those documents against the entire data set. Again, a lot of different ways to go about using this type of information. Now, despite all the focus on technology-assisted review, keyword reporting is still very much a key component of any document review, whether used early on to help broaden or limit the scope of review, or to help prioritize documents and assign to specific review teams. Understanding exactly which agreed-upon terms exist in your data set and getting to this information quickly is key to an efficient, effective review. All from XERA, the platform that works the way you think.